But what are the games? What are they looking like? What do I have to imagine? What is it?
Yeah, we must come to that point now so that we don't push up the customer frustration KPIs
CFR,
in
the
this
CFR,
call.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So of course, we are going to give you some examples of what are financial entertainment games. So I will share, actually right on top of my mind, I have two examples. So I think I'll share both of them because they're quite different. But before I share, I just want to mention again, right? Traillight provides an FE game platform, which is, the banking middleware, the backend service to building games, right? So these two examples are two out of the, let's say, unlimited amount of games you can build on this platform. These two examples are actually co-created by us and professional game developers who are already using our platform to build games. You might think that, how can us, you and Matthias, build games? Well, come on, like our track record did not come from a lack of creativity and innovative use cases, right?
That's
so
right.
I must admit, we turns out not to be too bad at this. But let me go into the two examples, okay? And then you can hopefully get a much better idea by everything we've been talking about so far, okay? Now, the first one. All right, remember we were talking about game mechanics earlier and we kept talking about cards. So in fact, on our platform, we do have a cards engine, yeah? And what does this engine do? It actually turns financial instruments into a deck of playing cards. All right, so we all know a deck of playing cards, typically it's 52 cards, yeah? And you see suites and numbers on each of the cards. Now, let me take an example. Imagine we take the 40 component companies from the DAX index and we turn that into a deck of playing cards of 40 cards, all right? And now think about you sitting around a virtual video game table with either your friends or other players, right? And you're each being dealt 5 cards. Okay, so I'm the dealer here, okay? And I have actually 4 decks, okay? I have 4 decks of cards, 4 decks of DAX 40 cards. And I deal each one of you a card. In total, you each get 5, all right? Now you have 5 cards in your hand, you open that up, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, that's different. Instead of seeing your normal suite and numbers on each card, you actually see the logos and pricing information and performance information of a listed company. So you think, what did I do with this? What kind of game am I playing now, right? So on this card game, your goal is to maximize the performance of your mini 5-card portfolio, as well as making a poker pattern, for example, a pair, 3 of a kind, full house, or a straight, okay? So now you have these 2 goals, and how can you do that to maximize yourself and meet those 2 goals to win this game? We give you the opportunity to swap up to 3 cards, all right? So in order to make that decision, what are you doing? You're clicking on the card and you get taken to more detailed information, let's say news, let's say, recent development about that company itself, so that you can make a decision. Is this company going up or down in the next couple of minutes? This is the same kind of information consumption, analysis, and decision making you would need to do if you're in a real trading situation, right? And then you come back to the card game and you decide, okay, I want to swap only 2 cards. Yeah, you give it back to the dealer. I dealt you 2 more cards. And then we find out how well you did, right? And this game combines not only real world and life, by the way, financial data, information, it automatically triggers you as the player, motivates you to keep yourself informed and updated about what's going on. And you have to read the content, you have to interpret the information, but it is not a chore because you want to do this to win this round of card game, right? And it's happened in a short, consumable iteration. So you could be like waiting for the bus and you can play 1 round and put it away. And guess what? Instead of playing Candy Crush, you played a financial poker and you gained some financial information and you actually trained yourself skills that are applicable in the real world.
That could be, so that would be stock poker.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's financial poker, it's stock poker, it can be crypto poker, it can be any kind of underlying asset.
ETF poker.
Yeah. And exactly on that point, I was going to ask you, Matthias, now with your banker's head, can you imagine if we use that game only as education? We had all the impact I just talked about, but what would it be if we use that game as an actual financial transaction?
Oh yeah, I obviously can imagine. It could be, because what you're actually creating, those 5 cards, is, out of my perspective, it's a mini portfolio, which after swapping 3 cards and getting 3 new, which is even maybe created with my influence.
Yes.
And maybe we don't do this for 5 minutes or 2 minutes only, but we would do this maybe with a duration of 24 hours. And I have my mini portfolio at my hand, which is a derivative at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And could be a nice new financial instrument. Yeah, so for the banks, for the ones who have the license to offer something like that, such a kind of micro derivative, or we call it a trade light casual micro derivative, CMD, it's absolutely feasible to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that makes asset allocation, this is asset allocation the fun and game way, right?
Yeah,
wonderful.
exactly. So the second game that I want to share as an example, so this one is a bit crazy. And for all of those of you out there, again, think how many people play Candy Crush, right? By the way, I just looked up the statistics not so long ago. On a monthly basis, Candy Crush has 250 to 300 million players per month, right?
Including German politicians, I've heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's the point, right? Games that are really simple, really repetitive, actually is a really nice way to enjoy, to engage players, right? You don't have to go crazy complex and make something really smart. So this is the inspiration to this crazy game I'm gonna share with you. So do you all know mini golf? Maybe you play golf, right? You know what is golf. Maybe you don't play golf, but you know what is golf. All right, so I have to stand up for this one, right? So in this game, as the player, okay, you are playing golf, yeah? And this is a crazy golf where the player is standing on Earth and your goal is to hit this golf ball to the moon. For any of you out there who does not know what to the moon means, come on, please go look it up. Yeah, check out Wall Street Bet on Reddit after this event, okay? So your goal is to hit the golf ball to the moon. We all know moons have a lot of craters, yeah? So your golf ball could fall into each one of these craters and earn you different points. And now you're probably scratching your head, okay, how is that related
that
to
is exciting.
Financial stuff? Yeah, how is this related to financial stuff, like by hitting the golf ball to the moon? Now, we have created the first version of this game in this way, that each golf ball is a cryptocurrency, okay? And again, now think back. You're in this visual world, yeah, this virtual world. You're standing on Earth and you're about to hit this golf ball. Let's say it's a Bitcoin ball. And the moment you pick that golf ball, you suddenly see in front of you the price development in a chart of Bitcoin, okay? So you see in front of you the price movement of Bitcoin. Why does that matter? Because guess what? Whenever you want to trade a cryptocurrency, first, you need to go look at how the prices have developed.
You should.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should go look at in the last days, has it been like really, really high, the highest it's been in months? Maybe it's not the right time to enter, right? Or has it actually dropped really low due to some crazy announcement by Elon Musk? So maybe this is the right time to enter, because who knows, he might change his mind next week.
Yeah, next tweet is coming.
Yeah. So you see the price movement, and then you also learn about volatility, right? There are actually cryptocurrencies that does not have as much volatility as others, right? And then you have to read the chart to interpret the information. And what happens now after I pick the crypto Bitcoin golf ball and I see the price chart, I'm gonna try to hit this ball to the moon. And by the way I hit, yeah, and this is something that I have to then practice in the game to do well over and over again. If I hit it well, then it will fly over the price chart, lands in the moon. Or if accidentally I don't hit it so well, it's gonna hit the price chart, bounce it off, and God knows where it's going, okay? So my goal is to have this repetitive action, which again, promotes me to read about information, promotes me to get an understanding of what is pricing, what are volatility, what is performance, what are movements. And then on top, okay, we created a tournament in this game, which if you think back to the use cases we talked about, we kept saying that games help you increase touch points with your customer. Tournament is the perfect example because with our platform, you can configure the tournament to go on for, let's say, 4 hours the tournament or up to a week or even a month. All right. So as the player, I have this constant movement of hitting my golf ball. And then I see that, hey, I can participate in a tournament. I am then taking the knowledge that I gained from this constant playing into the tournament. And now the tournament tells me, hey, your goal is to select the specific golf ball that you want, yeah, to be able to hit as far as possible in this tournament. And the distance and the power of this ball is being driven by the performance of this crypto during this tournament, right?
Okay. Wow.
So you have to make a prediction on the price development. And if you think about it, this is what all of us is doing when we buy cryptocurrency or we invest in any financial instrument, is we are making a prediction because we're predicting for the price to go up, right? You don't buy a stock predicting that the price will go down. That's why I want to buy it now.
The maturity.
Yeah.
Or a professional short seller.
Yeah, but exactly. But your intention, right, is to predict that, if you're just buying the underlying asset itself, you're predicting for the price to go up. So you enter the tournament, select the crypto, and this is the cool thing about it, right? As the player, you don't need to sit there for 10 hours to wait for the result. You can spend another 50 seconds, go back to hitting a few golf balls, get back to work, get back to school, get back to whatever you're doing. But we have created a touch point for the bank or the broker to get in touch with you at the end of that tournament to let you know how you've done, right?
And maybe win a prize or...
Exactly. So you would see yourself ranked on, let's say, a leaderboard. You see how well you've done compared to the others. If you're not done so well, probably you should go back to hitting more golf balls and practice more on how to interpret those information. But if you've done well, this is another opportunity that your service provider can maybe give you a reward, right? They can maybe say, hey, actually, you're really good at this. Right now, you are only using our stock trading functions. You're not using the crypto one. If you would like to go into crypto, maybe we give you like a 20 euro voucher, or we send you a book on some information or subscription to knowledge about this asset.
So that means, Tracy, if I kind of make an abstract out of that, so that means that because I think, first of all, the explanation of the game takes longer now than the game itself.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is very important to understand that we are in the genre of casual games, actually. Right?
To start, yes.
To start, exactly. So that means it's always, like, I like the quote you gave us is, actually the game break is the new smoking break, so to say.
So that's for me at least true.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So that means in the bus, whenever I want to have a break, and so on. I'm not saying in the video conference, but and so on. Whenever I want to have a break, I have a game. I could,
Yeah.
First of all. Second, what we do is we take fun environments actually and embed financial data or product, whatever we want, actually. This is actually what happens, right? So it's the fun environment of a poker setup, for instance, now being fueled and being more exciting maybe by financial data.